Good night, everyone. Tonight, God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Summer J. Spirits Divine. I'm here to give you some news on tonight, pretty much Black History. This is still Black History Month. So Black History, is a month of February, that we recognize our ancestors, civil rights movement, and slavery. We had great leaders, like Martin Luther King, and we had many more who had opened doors for us. We come a long way, but we still have more to go. Martin Luther King did what he can, open doors for us. It was a whole lot of stuff that we could not do, but we're doing now. But today we are still fighting for civil rights and justice. So back then, they didn't want our ancestors to read. They had to sneak and try to read. But now we can read, write, we able to educate ourselves, on our black history. So once a year we celebrate Black History Month of February, a remembrance that it cannot be erased. We also support Black history. On Black History Month, we also we support Black, business. We take action on important issues that are needed. So the theme for Black History Month of February by association, for the study of African American life history. Association, for the study of African American life and history, is to promote research, preserve information about Black life, history, culture. So Black people have been resistant since day one. Regardless of what issue we have to face, we find a way to overcome, and we don't stop. We just keep pressing our way through. Pressing our way through over any obstacles that constantly come our way. Because our ancestors, didn't been through so much, for our history to be dismissed or either erased. Today we are still fighting for justice. Also today, we have great leaders. We have great leaders now, that fighting for civil rights right now. Me and other leaders, fighting, for the ones, that had lost their life in a horrible way. We will honor, the ones that lost their life, like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor and Tyrese Nichols, and many, many more, who were shot and killed, in a horrible way, by a police officer. So Black history is very important, reflected on compliments, that pushing for equal rights. So Black history, we are trying to put an AP program placement together, for our generation or others, who want to get knowledge on our history. It's very important that they learn, what our ancestors had went through. Doors had opened. We came a long way, but we not 100% there. Still fighting to be equal and have justice. That's why AP, would be very important to have, this course, for our children to learn in school. There are books, okay, there are books, there are history in the library, to read our history, but AP program, I request that it remain in school to give our children right hand on history to learn. You know, we all have to get knowledge. They all have to get knowledge on our history. Because a lot of stuff that we doing now, they could not do it back then. So they open doors for us, but certain stuff we are still fighting for. So our Black history cannot be erased. It cannot be dismissed. It will remain, here for remembrance, of our ancestors that was in slavery and civil rights movement. That's the main and Black Lives is from this generation. So they was the ones, who opened doors for generation to come. and they want to take the main key out of the AP program to the movement, the civil rights movement, and the Black Lives Matter. You know, they want to take the main key out, and we suggest that it stay. That's the main key of our Black history. You know, civil rights movement and Black lives that's matter. You know, just trying to take that out, and we you know, I request that it stay in. You know, because that's the main key of history of our history. You know, and you know, they have a lot of us adults still need full of knowledge, you know, of our history that what went on back then. You know, some of us we have the basic, you know, and got some of us are very educated in the history. So that's why we need the AP program where the children can learn while they're young. You know that all the stuff that you're doing now, you know, they could not do it back then. They had to keep fighting to open doors for us when we came along. You know, so that's the purpose of the AP, you know, program for our young generations to learn and get knowledge of. You know, so Black history, you know, our Black history will not be erased. It will not be dismissed. You know, I request that it remain. It have to remain. You know, because without Black history, there's no history. You know, AP program, you know, to have for our young generations to get knowledge and understanding of what happened in our generation back then. You know, I request that they remain. They remain in the school. You know, we need this AP program course. You know, we need it to remain. You know, so many. It's not just only African American. There are so many other people wants to read on the history. You know, it was on the news. So many other different races wants to read about history. So why not have the AP program? Why not have the AP program? Where everyone can learn the history. You know, it's very interesting. You know, just say it wasn't, but it's very interesting for anybody who wants to get the knowledge of history. You know, so that's all the news I have for you on today. You know, for our Black history to remain. You know, for the AP program to remain. You know, for our history to do not be erased and do not be dismissed. You know, it's here for memories. You know, once a year we celebrate Black history. You know, and you cannot take out the main key of the history. You know, it will not be history. You know, so that's all the news that I have for you on today. You have a blessed night, and I see you on the next video.